Etymology and historical origin of the baby name Prince. Prince is an English vocabulary word which defines a hereditary royal title. It is also spelled the same way in the French language. The word comes from Latin princeps, which is derived from the elements primus, first, and capio, to seize. These are obviously fitting root elements since a prince is generally the first to seize the throne upon the death of a king, usually his father. The feminine equivalent is princess, which, like prince, is also occasionally used as a given name, mainly in America. The name is most famously borne by musician Prince Rogers Nelson, 1958-present, better known simply as Prince, or an unpronounceable symbol. As a result of Prince's international fame, the name became popular among African Americans as well as blacks in Britain. Personality of the boy named Prince. The number 11 is a master number, and embodies heightened traits of the two. This personality is on a life journey to find spiritual truth. They are extremely idealistic and intuitive. 11s have a rare and exceptional spiritual energy that brings a sense of obligation to illuminate the world around them. It's a very powerful responsibility, but these people have far more potential than they know. It's important that they surrender to higher ideals. They have the capacity to see the bigger picture, and they possess the skills to inspire others spiritually. 11s have strong diplomatic skills and can become great peacemakers. Master numbers can be both a blessing and a curse, as they walk the fine line between greatness and the potential for self-destruction. Popularity of the boy named Prince. Prince as a given name has been around for as long as the U.S. government began tracking naming trends. Not only does this name date back to at least the late 19th century, but it was also surprisingly popular on a relative basis. This really astounded us, quite frankly. Not only that, but the height of Prince's usage as a name was at the turn of the 20th century, over 100 years ago. The name did drop off the charts and retreat into the shadows for part of the 1960s and most of the 70s, and again in the 90s, but other than that, Prince has been in constant usage. The highly talented and extremely artistic musician known as Prince certainly added additional currency to the name during the height of his career in the 1980s, particularly among blacks. The name did disappear from the charts between 1993 and 1997, but another musician, Michael Jackson, single-handedly played a role in the name's triumphant return to the charts when he named his first son Prince Michael Joseph Jackson, Jr. in 1997. When he named his second son Prince Michael Jackson II, better known as Blanket, in 2002, Prince saw another jump on the charts. MJ also impacted the usage of the name Prince in 2009 when the globally beloved pop star tragically died. Today the name Prince is back to its moderate levels of success. There are generally two negatives associated with the name Prince. 1. It's a common name for a pet, and 2. Title names, like Prince, Princess, King, Duke, Earl, etc., are occasionally mocked for being overly pompous or pretentious. Just something to consider. Still, we totally get how parents see their precious baby boys as their own little prince. Quick facts on Prince. Gender, boy. Origin, African American. Number of syllables, 1. Ranking popularity, 451. Pronunciation, Prince. Simple meaning, first to seize. Characteristics of Prince. Spiritual teacher, uplifting, highly intuitive, inspirational, truth seeker, extremely bright. Cultural references to the baby name, Prince. Literary characters of the baby name Prince. Marina is a character in William Shakespeare's play, Pericles, Prince of Tyre, thought to be written around 1606-2008, and believed to be a work of shared authorship. Marina is the beautiful and virtuous daughter of Pericles and his wife, Thaisa. She was born at sea during an awful storm. Her mother, Thaisa, appears to have died in childbirth, and it is thought Marina the infant will not survive the journey back to Tyre. Pericles leaves her in Tarsus with the king and queen who raise her. This is where things really start to go south for Marina. Because she is more beautiful than the royal daughter, her guardian mother plots to have Marina killed. That plot is thwarted by a group of pirates who kidnap her and sell her into prostitution. The chaste Marina, however, remains so, and persuades all her potential customers to leave her to her virtue. Eventually, Marina becomes a tutor for young children. Well, this kind of goodness might be its own reward, but luckily, there's more. Pericles, who has been told she is dead, is in deep mourning. His friend, Lysimachus, the governor of Mytilene, believes that Marina would be able to cheer him up, and puts them together. This potentially explosive situation is all put to rest. Marina and Pericles are happily reunited. Off they go to find Thaisa, who really wasn't dead, and Marina gets to marry Lysimachus. We may have stretched the convention of coincidence just a wee bit, but, hey, this is Shakespeare. Well, we all know who the prince is, don't we? Little girls learn about him at a young age. He is, first and foremost, charming. He is handsome, tall, noble, courteous, romantic and rich. He has a castle or two in Once Upon a Time land. He rides a white horse. He saves maidens and marries them. He is responsible for all that happily ever after stuff that dreams are made of. Naturally, this character has taken quite a hit in the postmodern feminist era, and he has been subject to a wealth of revisionist retellings of his tale. Today, damsels in distress are hard to find, wicked witches are almost extinct, mean stepmothers go to family counseling, ugly stepsisters get plastic surgery, little people have unionized, fairy godmothers aren't female and apples are organically grown. What's a self-respecting prince to do? It's hard to find work in such a world. Nonetheless, we venture to guess that many little girls still secretly keep that dashing man alive in their dreams, but they probably cast themselves in the role of rescuer, rather than the other way around. Whatever works either way, it's still a great and, well, charming storyline. Philip is Sleeping Beauty's prince, that handsome, charming fellow created by Walt Disney Studios in the 1959 animated film, based upon Charles Perrault's 17th-century fairy tale, itself based upon common folklore. In the Disney film, he is called Prince Philip because of most Americans' familiarity with then-young Queen Elizabeth II's husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. Prince Philip has been betrothed to Princess Aurora since her birth, but they have never met. A wicked fairy has put a curse on the baby princess that by her 16th birthday, she will prick her finger on a spinning wheel and die. Aurora's three good fairy godmothers do their best to offset the curse by mitigating it. Instead of dying, she will fall into a deep sleep, and they spirit her off to the woods to hide her. You know the drill. Philip and Aurora meet in the woods, he thinking she is a peasant girl, and they fall in love. Bad Fairy returns to lure Aurora away and produces a spinning wheel for her evil purposes. Philip goes to battle against Bad Fairy and prevails, finally placing the winning kiss on Aurora's cold lips. Voila! They live happily ever after, of course. Until postmodern feminism got its hands on the legend. We get it, young women should not be fooling around with domestic appliances like spinning wheels, and all women communities in the woods are good. If a young woman should fall asleep, it's probably because she needs the rest, and she doesn't need any tights-clad prince to kiss her awake, thank you. As for settling scores with bad fairies, she can do that by herself, too. But, somewhere in little girl's DNA lives an insatiable appetite for these tales, so enjoy it while it lasts. Hail Prince Philip! Famous people named Prince. Prince Ona, baseball player, Prince Rogers Nelson, musician more commonly known as Prince, Prince Michael Jackson, both of Michael Jackson's sons, Prince Hoare, English artist, Prince Fielder, baseball player. Children of famous people named Prince. Michael Jackson. Historic figures with the name Prince. The story of Don Carlos is a tragic one. He was the eldest son of the King of Spain, but lost his mother a month after he was born. At one time he was betrothed to Elizabeth I of England. As a member of the royal house of Habsburg, Carlos may have been a victim of inbreeding, as was common among monarch families. This may have led to some of his physical and psychological ailments. When he was 17, Carlos fell down a flight of stairs. He recovered after surgery, but suffered enough of a head injury to cause a change in his behavior. Carlos became wild and erratic, apparently making threats and causing friction. His father eventually had the boy imprisoned and placed in solitary confinement. Don Carlos tragically died 6 months later, and his legend inspired a couple of great works of art. One was Friedrich Schiller's 18th century historic tragedy A Eden Carlos, Infant von Spanien which, in turn, inspired Giuseppe Verdi's 5-act grand opera, A Eden Carlos. What is there to say about William Arthur Philip Lewis, Duke of Cambridge, heir to the throne of the Commonwealth of Great Britain, that hasn't been said before? Just about nothing, so we want to really try. Born to royalty, bred for the throne, educated, trained, cosseted and adored, he has just put the icing on the cake by marrying his beautiful Duchess, Catherine. Of course, money, fame, good looks and breeding arena everything only about 99.9% of the package. For starters, just watch that receding hairline, and lead see where that takes him in the game of life. And secondly, the family nickname for him is Wambata. Thirdly, it would appear that good Queen Elizabeth is determined to rule forever, and he may be resigned to many years of ribbon cutting. These are 3 serious strikes, we say, so we wish him the best.